The digital playing field saw a critical breakdown this week as Canvas, the widely used learning management system, was taken offline. The decisive edge belonged to ShinyHunters, the notorious hacking group, who exploited a fundamental weakness in Canvas's authentication protocols. This wasn't a brute force attack, it was a surgical strike. They found an open lane directly into the system's core. Initial analysis suggests a sophisticated vulnerability allowed them to bypass standard login procedures, gaining unauthorized access to sensitive user data. It was a direct hit. This specific tactical advantage allowed ShinyHunters to control the flow of information, disrupting millions of users globally. The attack highlighted a critical defensive lapse. It exposed the fragility of even widely trusted platforms, impacting academic institutions from K-12 to major universities. This wasn't just an outage, it was a targeted compromise of critical educational infrastructure. The initial reports confirmed the breach, setting off alarms across the academic world, forcing an immediate system-wide shutdown. This critical edge manifested immediately across the entire Canvas network. Users attempting to log in were met with error messages or redirected to non-functional pages. The system became unresponsive. For hours, students couldn't access assignments, and educators lost their virtual classrooms. ShinyHunters' presence was felt through widespread login failures and the complete unavailability of services. This wasn't just a denial of service, it was a deep penetration, indicating compromised data. The impact rippled through schools and universities, from Liberty University to countless others, all relying on Canvas for daily operations. The digital infrastructure buckled under the pressure. It was a clear demonstration of the exploit's depth, forcing institutions to scramble for alternative learning solutions. The disruption was immediate and widespread, affecting daily academic life for millions. Instructure, the parent company of Canvas, immediately moved to contain the breach. Their initial adjustment involved taking the entire system offline, a drastic but necessary measure to prevent further data exfiltration. This was their defensive play. The security teams worked around the clock, attempting to patch the identified vulnerability and restore service. While no single player emerged publicly, the collective effort of Instructure's incident response team became the focal point. They were trying to regain control of the narrative and the network. The balance shifted from ShinyHunters' offensive to Instructure's scramble for defense. It was a race against time to secure the perimeter and assess the damage. Their rapid response aimed to minimize the fallout, but the initial breach had already done its work. The focus was on mitigation, not prevention at that point. The numbers paint a stark picture of the breach's consequence. Millions of students and educators experienced an outage lasting over 24 hours, disrupting academic schedules worldwide. The initial reports indicated potential exposure of user data, including names, email addresses, and possibly hashed passwords. This wasn't just an inconvenience, it was a significant data security event with long-term implications. The scale of affected institutions, from K-12 districts to major universities, highlighted Canvas's critical role in modern education. The financial implications for Instructure, both in recovery costs and reputational damage, are still being tallied. This was a costly defeat, forcing a re-evaluation of security protocols. The data breach notification process alone represents a massive undertaking, underscoring the severity. The immediate crisis may be contained, but Canvas now faces a profound matchup problem. Rebuilding trust with its vast user base will be a long game. The underlying vulnerability, once exposed, creates a target for future attacks. Instructure must now invest heavily in bolstering its security architecture, not just patching the immediate hole. They need to anticipate the next move. The question remains: how will Canvas adapt its defensive strategy to counter increasingly sophisticated threats? The digital landscape demands constant vigilance. This breach serves as a stark reminder of the ongoing battle for data integrity, forcing a complete overhaul of their security posture. The opponent has shown their hand, now Canvas must solve for it.